calling, and I think they don't look like some of the other top teams, but they have found a style that works for them. And they're individuals, as long as they can play well, we don't have really much reason to doubt them. Like, watching Dexter on Mirage shows us that he is in his perfect comfort zone on this roster right now. He's doing fantastic ever since he, subbed in back in Lisbon. It's been just him in a flying start. Had a slow start to the year, a little bit, but one of his best career maps already on Mirage versus Mel's the other day. This one's kind of interesting. Heroic are the #1 team in the world, right?
Yes.
They actually have not 2-0'd a series since the Rio Major.
Damn.
Every single win that they've had has gone 3 maps. And they've shown weakness to Complex. They've lost a map to Complexity. They lost a map to Astralis. Lost a map to EG twice. 3 maps, actually. They lost a map to Big. All of these wins. There hasn't been a clean victory this year. There hasn't been a clean victory at the World Final, at the Fall Final. And yet, they've also taken down some of the best teams. But right now, it doesn't feel like they're in that form. So, OG, I think they actually have a real chance right now.
Chance at this B site, definitely. Jabby single deagle into smoke. But they did leave him that cache of nades, so he's got another one to throw down. And I think Jabby's somebody who, again, has just continued to power up consistently across events. Jabby won't get anything this time, as Nexa makes sure to very quickly sweep him away. CT's pressed into the smoke, gonna go with the deagle spam. It's ambitious, but it's also a hopeless situation. Both teams know it. And with that additional smoke in the plant, not this time, folks.
I think if there's one thing that OG does as good as any other top team right now, it's the entrying when it comes to how they enter sites. We see that when they play Ancient and they just go A over and over again. Even if teams are really ready for it, they have so many good entry players, basically, that they're good at taking a site or failing exec, re-execing, staying patient. Map control is where they struggle the most, but they make up for it by avoiding it. They decide to keep it more simple.
So I suppose at this moment we kind of paint this picture as Heroic being the king of the castle at the moment, but a lot of different hordes of orcs outside of it, right? Different teams coming for that top spot. Like you said, dropping maps, so not flawless, not completely protected. And yet, also, we sit here, they've yet to be toppled fully.
Yeah. I mean, rankings right now, it's weird. I think G2 are the best team in the world for me. I think Na'Vi, actually, this tournament could really change the story about where they stand in the top 3, top 4. And then FaZe are also in that same boat. We'll see how they do here at Kato. And then Heroic. I think they're in jeopardy of bombing out. They're in jeopardy of only making it to semis. Vitality also trending really hard up in the right direction.
A lot of challengers coming for Heroic's head. Look out for those flashbangs. They blind indiscriminately.
I think definitely Na'Vi are actually the first team I think of as a team who's changed so much in the last week and have actually adopted some heroic-esque moves.
Which is really shocking because personally I came into this event expecting Na'Vi to be the team to flop, to not meet expectations. You know, I was really starting to buy into the narrative of this team dropping down into like the depths of the top 10. Simple possibly having his worst year yet. That's really what it felt like at the start, but that's why we can't judge teams by just the start of their year. Remember how G2 started 2022. Imagine how they could start 2023. Next up, gonna get caught by the CZ. Double orange player, that'll catch him off. Cadian goes swinging, but the 5-7 can only get the best of Neofrag. Fiku, the insurance policy, has crept through Arch side, and so the 2 remaining players from Heroic could go grab a couple guns. Yeah. The bomb plant in the round, very likely OG.
Yeah, it's not too bad.
Jabby comes back. What if he clears this corner? No. Could have then maybe tested the bomb site, but just like that, Fiku shows his value, protects what he called as the open site, and OG just milked the clock for every second they needed to make sure this one is theirs for the taking.
You have to be careful where they milk the clock because they have run out of time at this event.
Very true, very true. Vertigo A to B rotation, if I'm not mistaken.
That was the culprit. So which heroic are we going to get today? That's the question.
Day by day. We talked to Cadian in the elevator yesterday. Said he was feeling much better under the weather to start the group stage, but recovered. Or recovering. A welcome sign. AWP to Cadian immediately. Lesser nades, but a nice deep angle. Comfortable inside the apartments for the time being. OG looking at mid. Early rotation here. Cadian going to take Arch. Smokes over top middle instead.
This isn't going to work though, is it? I think they're exploding mid through the smoke and they won't see anything. So Cadian has to change his plans. He comes back to Arch smartly.
Which of those was
one
that?
on the ground? Please.
Must have been. Surely Flames is jumping with the MAC-10 and Nexa just gets the cover. But we've got Shush, who's been incredible on CT sides in that first series. Stown, all the while, able to press out from Arch. We've got semi-health OG players.
They have a moto smoke at the very least.
The bomb's got across from Graveyard.
Yeah, that's okay.
Stown can't catch it. Bomb's going to be planted. CT smoke out on site to block off at least one. It will, in fact, stop the vision of two, and Nexa, oh, that's not good. Molotov burns him open. He walks forward, has to, and Tesses catches the little bits left of him, so let's see it, Fiku. Nice clean headshot on the first, predicts the short peek, got one in the open, but Jabby's gonna get the better of him, and Heroic come through in the 3v3 retake. That Molotov really felt like it unraveled the whole entire situation.
He was standing kind of in a smoke, but unfortunately to take even a step forward meant that that smoke didn't cover it. So I think a little unfortunate there for Nexa, but everybody kind of messed that up. I think Flames had a MAC-10 kill. If he went out a little wider, could have locked that down. Fiku, usually a good closer, but here, can't get the 1v1. And even just this kill right here could have been the round win because of the half wall that you can hide behind. Hide behind is hard to fight against. So very good frags in the retake here for Heroic. Nice patience. Nice hold from Shush down.
Molly beyond Flames. Here we go. Fast fight as per Heroic. Trying to get away. Cadian's nade catches Nexa, and just like that, of course, Heroic go throwing themselves down banana. Walk away with 2 kills.
It was real interesting that Maniac brought up Heroic's map stats because they actually were on an 8-map loss streak on Inferno, but in their last 4 games are 3-1.
All right.
So they have changed it. Yeah, so if you look at the high number of Inferno games they played, yeah, they've only won a very few of them, but recent games are doing incredibly well. And we saw them versus Complexity. Their utility usage was fantastic.
For certain. So is there aggression? You know, I think, like, again, kind of the identity of Heroic CT sides, but tends to hinge on their success, which as of late trends upwards. Bank flash off the orange box. Flames retains vision. Tesses baiting him in. Could cost him his life. Will. And of course, Flames quick to react to what he expects to be the next spot, but smoke fades at the same moment, so it's not just the one on Coffins, but also Cadian on Cross.
Notes being taken here from Exist. What to do, what to do. But yeah, they forced Complexity to play very well to even get the 11 rounds they did. I actually think that Complexity did a pretty decent job overall and still couldn't keep up. And then the Cadian clutch came in towards the end. Honestly, sometimes it feels like Heroic are proof that you need more stats to explain the impact because I didn't really notice Cadian play badly personally. I feel like people just told me his stats weren't good, but when I was watching the game, I didn't feel like he played badly. And he won the important round at the end.
Yes. And then had an excellent third map where the stats were there. Safe to say, Complexity felt his impact. That being Heroic's opening game at groups. 2-1 affair. OG defeat Mouse, also one that hinges on a masterclass performance out of Degster. I mean, the clutches this guy pulls off on Mirage, just the clutches he pulls off in general. You know, when you talk about clutch in Counter-Strike at the moment, obviously you'd think of the legends of Zipix's 1vx's, but right now, to me, bang for your buck, it's got to be Degster at the top of that list.
What about Cadian?
Right there with him.
Yeah.
Right there with him. Yeah. No, fair rebuttal, but, you know, I feel like the difference is Degster is the only one on OG that can pull those off.
Okay.
Actually, now that you bring that up, I would love a Katie and Degster 1v1 at some point in this series.
They both win.
Yeah, somehow, some way. But with the Deagles and the slow crawl, OG aren't going to get this one. Heroic will waste no time tying this game at 3.
Maybe Cadian has higher odds and higher number clutches, and Degster has more 1v2s.
Sure. Yeah, I could see that. I wouldn't be surprised.
They have a similar style, though. They play them really fast. They take a lot of risks really quickly, and their aim gets better when they do that. But Cadian, the 1v4s, 1v5s right now. Well, Degster had what? The 1v4 in the groups, as well as the 1v4 at the World Final?
Yeah, he's got a couple.
These two peas in a pod. You never thought Cadian and Degster had anything in common. They're the same player. Cadian's first name, Abdul.
Not quite. Degster's last name, Mola. Biku, no sir. Can have the apartment's control, but Shush will lean back. 3 CTs here. It's been meticulous with the flashes, getting closer, step by step. Now the op posted on Arch, smokes both sides, 1 per team. And Stown sees that as an open invitation. Degster's around the corner. And you can see Stown just firing off these volleys of shots, so Degster takes a couple steps back. Even just a few bullets through smoke is enough to get Degster back into this safer angle. But now the smokes are up and we hit that 35-second mark, so OG have brought it down to the wire. OG have kept enough utility to blanket this bomb site to try and jump on it as a pack. And with the Arch wrap inbound, you could very well see Heroic tested. Cadian, no impact offered as he's completely smoked out. It comes down to Shush, and it comes down to Stown. And Stown finds the first towards short, the balcony player with the answer. Fiku and Nexa kill a piece, and Cadian's thinking about pressing out through smoke. A dangerous game, but Javi plays the same one, and Nexa can't manage both ends of that, so sure enough, the plant is theirs. And OG with it have got the 2v2 set up, where Degster tends to thrive. Shuts down the short wrap quickly. Cadian's position already revealed. So now it's just this mind game as to what his silence means. Where and when does he come in from if he chooses to?
He has a chance. He somehow has a chance to get one opening duel. Degster tagged down, holding the angle. Cadian would have to go fast, and instead he's actually just going to try to lock him off. Well,
stops the op. Can't manage the second.
Still dead, so
Bomb will deal with him. Explosion is the cleanup crew, and it is, of course, OG's 4th on the board.
It's Shush. Shush not getting that kill in pit. Fika's pretty beastly as that Hallsfragger. I felt when he was coming out that he was going to kill Shush. I think he's won some confidence right now. But that makes all the difference. Shush, we saw him play yesterday on Vertigo. Honestly, a masterclass, the way he played B on that side of the map. I just instantly thought he's the best in the world at this, with the amount of responsibilities he had and how good he was and how varied it was in almost every single round. But that's the same deal with Pit. You have a position with a lot of utility, a lot of good angles, a lot of options, a lot of ways to delay. And so you also have to both get kills and stay alive. Some spots like CT Mirage, you just have to stay alive and you hopefully get a kill. But Pit on Inferno, you've got too many good fights, one-ways and space. that you've got to put up numbers. And that player coming out of halls, who would you rather be? The guy in pit or the guy coming out of halls? It's never the guy coming out of halls.
No.
So Fiku goes above and beyond there.
Multiple rounds now. Cadian's looking for this entry. Oi. Shot out, but not on target. Shush draws back alongside the captain. And OG see that as a space to take over. That is thick. Saucy grenade down middle. OG dazed and confused. They've got nades of their own, and they're going to quick pop. Compared this to the last round, much faster, and also no arch hold. It's going to be Cadian from Gravestairs. First player, body bagged instantly. We're going to get that apps peak, but Cadian holds that one as well.
Wow.
So this man's currently the turret of the A site. Third player, that's contact, wall bang, and this guy's really feeling it now. Shush, enabled to just stop that one peak from Nexa. It's a three-piece from Cadian and a rock-solid hold.
They read that play from beginning to end. The nade into middle, the peak, right to left side mid. They could see it from a mile away that OG are going to try to take over mid control. And the B players on Heroic didn't even push down at all. So right here, then Cadian puts himself in a position to stop the arch trap and gives himself 3 good angles to fight from. Now, if he misses any of these kills, he can no longer peek from any other angle because they're all exposed at the same time. That's the folly of Graveyard. But Cadian shows us what happens when you do get the kill. You've got a impenetrable position, no one there to refrag, and he was ready to hit the shots. And again, this is where I get doubtful of OG sometimes. They keep it very simple, but I think they can sometimes be obvious. Sometimes even though when they're obvious, they still win, and that's why they can keep their playstyle up, again, because they've got such great entry fraggers. But that one's quite a surprising round to win. You know, no banana control, but also Heroic, no map control on banana into 3 players on the A site just winning. Because who ops Graveyard to start the round?
Cadian, apparently.
Yeah. Fiku is the last remaining Polish player, is that right?
That is correct.
Yeah. I was talking to him back at the World Final. I'm just talking about talking to Neo, talking to him for the first time, and what it's like to have started to become a pro in a world where he looks up to Pasha, Neo, Taz, and some of these former legends, or legends that are either doing other things or still around. And you got to believe Kato is going to be the biggest event of the year for him for that reason too.
Yeah, understandably. I mean, we had Diha of Ents saying that this one is just as important as any major to him, being a fellow Pole. Unfortunately, his road cut incredibly short. Dexter's 1v4 has started, but he doesn't have the time to make this one happen. Considering all Glocks and the fact that they were playing tic-tac-toe in spawn, getting 2 kills, not half bad.
Yeah, took some time to talk. That was a talk-tack.
A talk-tack or a
Go over tactics.
A tic-tac-talk.
Tic-tac-talk.
Toe.
Imagine you play tic-tac-toe and loser dies.
Yikes. We sacrificed them to Gaben.
That's how he affords his 2 glass eyes.
We say, please, sir, source 2. And we give him Neo frag. And anybody else?
I'll go.
Yeah, I'll go. Yeah, for the people, man, for the people.
We do it for you guys.
Yeah, honestly, worth. Cadian opening op kill. Gun round as well, right? Don't forget about it. OG having to wait for this chance, and it goes right back to a man disadvantage. Cadian's been very mobile on that AWP so far this map, and I would say quite impactful, you know, and also quite confident. Trying to go in for those mid peaks even after he knows they could very easily have occupied those spots. So, hello, Kadian. 13 and 4. Shot just off the mark, but he's got support from Jabby.
So much support.
He's got Stown here with him as well. You know, I tried to paint the picture of Kadian being an excellent cult leader. You know, if he wasn't playing Counter-Strike, he would still have a following somehow. And these CTs around him are going to keep him well and truly alive. Stown boosting on coffins, but spotted. Flames, eesh. He's all of a sudden got them panicking. Jabby, nice kill onto Nexa as that bullet gets snapped up. Stown pressing out through smoke, and Dexter's on the chase. It's an AK turned into the op. It's 10 seconds on the clock in the bomb front site, so if he wants this clutch, it's already gone. Too late, my friend. Jumps up for the bomb, perhaps. Knows where the last CT is, but Shush doesn't even have to play it. Dexter, stoic, stands in the stillness. And of course, that's Heroics number 6.
Of course, he would almost find a chance in a situation like that, but bomb dropped in such an ugly position, honestly. Halfway up second orange is hard to figure out while you're also focusing on your crosshair, and the good flashes here from Heroic to make that totally impossible. Just burning seconds off the clock. That hold is great. Kadian picks the right site again, and even though he misses the opening duel, they get early utility damage with 2 riflers in the site. They can afford their opera going down because Jabby set up so well to own up to getting his first kill and to flash repeat for the second and third kill. I think again, it's just a little too transparent here for OG. They set up on B, or I think they're setting up on B. They nade them, they still come to B, they lose. Same thing happened on A, just before the tic-tac talk.
Haven't seen Shush let loose through apartments just yet. Versus complexity, that did start to become a problem for the offense at the time. Once he gets peeking into your alt mid, once he's challenging out your backdoor, you got problems. Dexter looking for the solution here. Singular AWP for OG. Kevlar Desert Eagles.
There's a rotator coming in his direction. Okay, they're doubling up on Cubby at the moment, but no pick control, so there is actually a chance that Dexter can find a kill. Oh! There was a moment.
Oh! No way, Kadian. Peeks into it. Drops Dexter and the op. Flames on the recovery. No scope connects with the Desert Eagle.
Oh, that would have been insane.
Pressures Kadian, but because of all of that incendiary damage, it's the USP to sweep away Flames. Kadian posted and popping bodies time after time.
That would have been so cool, man. Picked up the op in the molly. Shotgun into Deagle shot as he runs out. Still probably would have lost, but yeah, it was.
I believed.
Yeah.
You know, if it's not Dexter,
it's Flamesy.
That's who I believe in up next. Hits him with the Krakatow. And then Kadian. Easy. Inspiring attempt, though. Style points. 7 for Heroic. OG back with the buy and check out Kadian, dude.
60 and 5.
Eats the flashbang, so just rattles off one shot. Cache of nades picked up. They're going to keep continuing to throw these down, Banana, and Neo frags on the receiving end. Half health before he even sees a soul. Oh, okay, but sweet revenge, and then round 2 comes out from Heroic. Another one. No more nades to throw out.
Oh.
OG cautious on the approach.
They molly into mid. Kadian's still over on this side of the map. The arch smoke is really good here. There's a lurk potentially going to get involved. 46-second mark, and oh Jesus, that's a lot of damage.
On top of what's already been done by the nades, but OG aren't going to be afraid of it. Jabby going to put an incendiary in front of the smoke, so it's still another low HP player. Fiku's dead on the other side of the map, and Tesses is a smoke criminal. But by the time he gets his vision, there's only one kill left to be had. He's going to try to take to the top of the box, and that's exactly where he ends it. Degster, not today. Not yet, that is.
Not yet. It's usually later in the game when they really, really need it.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, what's it called? Is it a Togepi?
I have no clue what.
That evolves into like the Archangel thing from Digimon?
From Digimon?
Or is Togepi a Pokemon?
Togepi is a Pokemon.
Oh, okay.
I don't know about Digimons. Digimans.
It never really took off that hard.
You know, they were. It's an uphill battle.
Okay.
But Yu-Gi-Oh!
I still have my Magic Cylinder.
Honestly, great trap
And
card.
Jinzo.
Jinzo. Mmm. Little relinquished. Maybe a Time Wizard.
Pot of Greed.
Pot of Greed. Draw 2 cards. If OG could stack their hand right now, I think they'd love to, but they're drawing blanks. Tech 9s, Nade. None of these rounds have really come too close. They'll go ahead and try again. Man, met by utility. Cadian has stuffed every player that's tried to come out from that balcony. He's gonna clip flames as he jumps across. Ooh, Fiku, hello. Couple deagle shots to get this one interesting, to get the blood pumping for Heroic, and Jabby can't manage a single kill. What do you know? Eventually, they're able to break through, and that's even with Cadian stopping the first one, but one less player in that pit setup, and also, it wasn't even the pit setup. You caught one of the usual pit players standing out in lane.
That's true, yeah. Caught him
Can't
floating.
wait to see this. Cue up that Fiku double deagle, please.
Very nicely done, Fiku from the halls.
Chop, chop, Max.
Chop, chop, Max.
Get on it.
Yeah.
And I shout out Rushley before, but we've also got MC on the cinematic observing. Like I said, we brought out the best. The best of the best.
He's got an op. Yeah, he grabs it. 1 HP, saves the op over to Degster. Oh, the second shot must have been nice.
Oh,
it
dude,
was.
Just around the box.
Clean ones from Fiku.
That's that little X Factor moment of this half. Everything's been pretty textbook. Boring. Just kidding.
Oh.
We've had some good individual moments, but that's the first time that the lopsided buy is the one that comes out on top. OG will welcome this. Could be the late success in this T side that ends up deciding the map. Time will tell. Cadian again, mobile on the AWP, back to the B site, keeping it fresh. As he is having an excellent half, an excellent start to the day. Shooting for playoffs in the Spodek. Looking to lead his team by example as they attempt to defend that world ranking #1.
Utility from Heroic this game has been pretty S+. Like, they have gotten so many tags off at so many different points in the round. They've never overspanned positions. Carrying a smoke, though, as we cross the minute mark. 2 mollies. Cadian, no utility besides his HE, which actually could be pretty meaningful. We'll see if he finds the timing. He has died in positions like this, sometimes spotting. But it looks like he's starting to get a little nervous, so he'll fall back. I think the bomb will get collected. It's going to end here on the A site in a few seconds. But they forced a rotation, that's key.
Step 1.
Back to the entry players. Double pit setup.
Step 2.
Iku encroaching from the halls.
Down and Shush in their actual positions.
15 seconds.
Jabby on the bomb site. Oh, Dexter's flash caught flames, made his job hard, but Nexa delivers, and so will Neofrag. Look at the health they have left over.
They're so good at that.
Dexter able to post up on short. Feels like any time that bomb is theirs and he's got teammates within it, he's just going to lock off any brackets flank, any arch to short wrap. So Neofrag and Nexa, 25 health left over combined at the end of their entries. But that was step 2. Entries, get in there.
They're so good at the entries.
3 CTs in committed positions.
And they kind of all take turns popping off. They all get a round. 2K entry. It's one of the good thing about Nexus calling style overall, even when he was calling for G2. He's just leaning more into the fast stuff that he was already good at calling before.
Dexter gets the duel while blind. Final round of the first 15. Stown 13-6, Katie 19-7. Those are the stars of the show so far for Heroic. We look over to OG, Dexter 12 kills, and then we get that pack of players. Like you're saying, anybody can do it. They take their turns. Neofrag with a couple, Nexa with the single. And the fruits of their labor. OG get to play versus just 2 M4s and a FAMAS.
Where's Waldo? Where's Moeller?
Always in the red and white.
Unique setup here. But quite light towards the A side, and you know what? Would you say I like what we see? Nothing. Heroic have really disliked playing into bracket control this game. They tested it, but very, very little. I guess here, I didn't realize. Last round, and they just don't have much to work with. 2 pistols.
R-Trap's going to be a problem.
Here it is.
SS at this distance. A1S betrays him, Flames insta headshot. Shush, 3 Ts through smoke, and they stagger it. All 3 separate lanes running in.
Probably should have called some kind of stack this round.
Yeah.
Very boring round here from Heroic.
Just very inactive in comparison to what we usually get out of them. You know, feels like normally when you're kind of...
I always wondered when they run out of ideas. It felt like it was never going to happen.
Today's the day. One final attempt here to add a 9th to the board, but OG just props. Saw nothing. 0 resistance. Cut through it like butter. Stown's FAMAS. Sure, it's 1 Dagster and Flames a step ahead of the rest for OG's 7-round T-side. Now gonna have to switch over to the defense and stop Cadian, because right now he is above and beyond all of the rest, outperforming Stown and Jabby, who are trying to catch up, but a 19-8 first half for Cadian meant op dominance over Dagster. Will he be able to access that on this T-side? Will Inferno go the way of OG as they pick this map, hoping to punish what looks like a bad record, but has been an uptick as of late for the Danes? They're gonna take it to the B site pistol, and Flames trying to throw that frag out in time. We'll chip away at a few. We've got the Berettas out of Neo frag, and it is just the 2 kills, but it's enough. 3v3 retake set up. Jabby hands busy on the bomb plant. His teammate's gonna fight deep into construction, where Fiku has already laid down the line. Catches Cadian's head. It's down at half health. Jabby tries to tuck back around the little pillar. Will find Dagster's face, but there it is. Nice, clean, and easy. OG to take, again, a pistol.
Very nicely done from OG. I kind of felt like it was coming. Like, they have good pistol players. I think they felt comfortable in that retake, and the hold was solid enough there from Neofrag on the site to give them a chance to get in. So, Heroic, they chose to fight for con control. They lost it, and that's why they lost the round. They, of course, could have played a longer round, but that has its own risks, going over to banana and things like that. Especially on pistols, if there's one smoke left, that can be the worst place to be. Though Cadian dies in the back as they fight, and the game is tied. Heroic come through with an instant buyback, 3 rifles, and 2 kits of utility.
Couple nades bouncing around, but no big deal. What's the move, Heroic? How are you gonna work less? Contrast to Heroic, we've already got a bunch of bodies stacked up from OG on the brackets. Didn't really see much of that from the CT side of Heroic. For better or for worse. Nexa, he's gonna go curiously down mid. Jabby finds him. Both players dealing out damage. Boiler player is gonna get drawn in.
Oh, that was good from Jabby, man.
Set up Cadian wonderfully. That obviously should pull a player off of the B site, so the fact that Heroic just get back to that top banana control with eyes set on B makes sense. OG not too afraid of the situation. FAMAS damage is good out of Neofrag. Tesses, Jabby, Cadian, all so close to death. I mean, these guys could just be mopped up by an MP9, but no sir. They still break through, and Shush doesn't take any damage.
And look who's walking up on the flank. Are they gonna watch this? Flamesy, they know Jabby was an alt, but he's so focused on the B site. I mean, they don't know each other here.
This is weird.
But Jabby's just worried about, you know, holding this open. How this could play out. Okay, well, now he'll make some noise.
And he's going to follow him
Wait,
up.
what is Flamesy doing here exactly? Oh, okay.
Trying to play the timing, maybe looking for a second.
But Jabby runs with the AK and now can go to CT, so...
That'll flush him out of the site, but also just allow Heroic to take back their lead.
They made just a couple mistakes on the micro situations. I mean, when the FAMAS ran out of bullets completely, they know they have a certain amount of time to scale. And then Dagster showed himself from oranges before he swung, so they just posted on him and made that really easy. So even though the low HP was there, they didn't give himself a good chance to fight. And Nexa also walked down mid, you know, by himself. And it's like when people try to do that, like Heroic almost never walk anywhere by themselves. They push a lot, but they almost always go together. It's kind of how many of them are you going to find is the question. You know, not if you're going to find one. Not that they have to be like them or anything. They're just good at doing it.
But it is a tempting idea. Take the identity of one of the world's best. Not everybody can do that dance. Neofrag, sorry buddy, you are very much alone and already pelted by a frag grenade, so the MAC-10's just gonna clean you up with ease. Stavn looking for somebody else, but there's just nothing here. 10 rounds to the side of Heroic off of the back of a frag and a MAC-10 push.
A little quickie. The buy-in is here, but there's 4 saves. So OG will give this one away. They don't do well in either side. They don't have like a strong side, both shooting below 50%. And so it's a weird punish pick because they play it a lot. They have some wins, but they're 5-4 in their recent games. They aren't dominant on one side. They do fairly well on their pistol rounds, but and then the other upside I think for OG is they played a lot of good teams at least. They played Heroic, Vitality, Liquid, FaZe, Fnatic, Mouse on this map, all very good Inferno teams.
The benefit of being a partner. And those are officials that many other orgs would be jealous of. I think of Mouse in that regard. You know, we've kind of seen OG win and lose throughout the start of the year. Obviously besting Mouse in a very close series to get themselves this matchup versus Heroic. For any Mouse doubters out there, I just think this is literally the start of their year. 1 best-of-3 deep. OG have gotten in a lot of reps.
I kept checking back in on that game and I was like, oh, Mouse won. Oh, Mouse is gonna win. Oh wow, Mouse are winning again. Oh, Mouse lost. It's like, what? What happened? And then I think I went to like the front page of Reddit. It was Dexter 1v2, Dexter 1v2, Dexter 1v3. It's like,
you saw the one.
I've seen this before.
You saw the one with the Tech 9?
Yeah.
My God, dude. 2 bullets.
2 guys behind each other, 2 separate bullets.
Just, spooky what he's able to pull off. Just built different. But barely built up is the buy of OG. Saved from the last round in the M4.
Such a clean swing.
The one hope in the hands of Fiku. Already in the dirt. Stavn's FAMAS looking for more than just the one, and the bodies do pile up, so it's a good amount of damage. They can go and grab another rifle. By the time they get their paws on it, Heroic already planting that bomb. So expect a T-side played with conviction. Some teams kind of fizzle out. You can see the doubt in their decision-making. Heroic never strike me as that. Even on a bad day. It's just,
yeah.
It's like their conviction just didn't go well.
Yeah, sometimes they're like, oh, we were low energy today. And then you watch the game and you're like, you're pushing better, like more than most teams do on their craziest day, so it's true.
Tessa's going to maintain control of his spawn. That's his house.
OG really don't want to die here. In the save, they're losing a lot of money.
Ooh. Saw the hands for sure. Neofrag knows this is coming. But the lesser weapon just can't pick it up. So CTs get cleared out ahead of their first real buy. But no money for the op for OG. Curious situation.
No. Dexter will get it on 14 and do something then. Katie in full strength here. 20 and 10.
Dexter with rifles. You have strong feelings? Positive, negative? Or?
He was a rifler before he was an opera. So yeah, he was always good.
Yeah.
I think the first demo I watched was like Nemiga. I think that was a team he was on. I don't know. Maybe. It was one of those random. And he was insane P-side rifling on train. So
swings out mid-spray, catches half of Cadian's health. Jabby, that's a big entry. They're going to try to jump on that one, but the Arch players do get back around, and they fight well enough. Dexter's last bullet kills Tesses and dinks a player right behind him. I mean, considering you've got 1 shot in that Colt.
That was crazy.
Butts down, dirty. On the side of that smoke, connects to the Young Flames. And Shush will continue to just pump some rounds through smoke. That's enough to convince them back. That 1 kill on Nexa just served as the floodgates opening for Heroic's 12th round win. And Cadian crawling beneath the coffins catches Fiku with the headshot.
Neofrag was spotting it.
Jebaited.
Dude, Neofrag was spotting it, and Cadian got 4-3'd. You could actually see Neofrag's head on the screen. I don't know how that wasn't calmed.
Man just crouched beneath. Neofrag hoping to hold on here. M4 to be saved. Ooh, 5 health, down. And you know that Heroic, realizing that the doors are open to run away with this T side now.
Yeah, they botted the economy. Like, they let him save a couple rounds, then they chased him down in 2 saves in a row. 5 dead both rounds. Yeah. Now they're broke. They're playing against 13.
Heroic have manipulated the market.
They have.
They created this crash.
Yeah.
And they're going to profit off it.
It's insider trading and there's no police.
The police are on their side.
Yeah, they are the police. So here's a broke OG.
They pulled off a round like this before. Just 1 in the first half. Flames with the P250. 5-7 right behind him. Only 1 kill between the 3 CTs that push up into the app. So again, Heroic just gonna put the pedal to the metal and run rampant into the A site, where they meet Fiku's Deagle. It's been the best Deagle out of OG so far this map. And he's hopeful to connect yet another, but his teammate gets caught off on the bottom of middle, and so it's going smooth for Heroic. Fiku, go ahead and take a test. A test of Heroic's hold.
He's going for it.
Why not? Tries his damnedest, but Shush is going to lock it in. Nice and easy. Heroic, 13-8.
13-8. And the money's here. The money's here. Degster, $6,900, 13-8. I think it's about time for a 1v2. What do you think?
I think it's about now.
Okay.
It's the right time to do it.
Oh, they need a decent hold. We'll have a retake coming in. Degster walking over from the A site. 46 HP. HE on his back. Maybe a smoke. 1v3. Tessus and Shush playing banana. Cadian head-to-head with him first. Throws the smoke down. Baits out the 2 kills. No scope for the second shot. Less than a millisecond left on the defuse. Slaps the hell out of Flamesy. Everybody cries.
Your script writing's gotten better.
Thanks.
Creative morning. Let's see how it all unfolds. And to whose favor? Flashbang, both ways, but it's down to get bested. And some scatter shot at Acadian just doesn't connect. Tessus finds timing. Degster on the hunt. Yeah, not gonna let you get away with that. The internal clock ticks to perfection. And OG's 5v3 earned by way of banana aggression and an op.
They should be looking for a way.
There's a chance here. Player in the back. Oof. Gets spotted and dealt with, but then there's Neofrag, and while he does go down, it's at least with the Dink versus Shush. Feels like Shush has been playing on sub 15 HP every single round of this map, and yet he gets through that fire to try and set up Jabby. Nade has already homed in on him. And Jabby's got another smoke for that cross. This could be one of those miraculous Jabby moments.
Puts himself in a good spot. He can
loves the clutch.
He's worried about banana, but that's still coming in.
So he's going to try and take this fight to beyond coffin. First player offsets the crosshair, and that's all he's got to do. Serve up the distraction for Degster to clutch. It's a 9th to OG.
And it starts off with a solid default. Kills on both sides of the map. Trades come back for Heroic that aren't bad, but already low at that point in numbers. Actually, looking at this, Heroic's, well, again, we have to look at recent games for Heroic because they have won a lot recently. But if anything, their CT sides are more infrequently good. And they have already kind of survived that. T side considerably better. Three MAC-10s.
Kind of troubles Neofrag going to get to now that he's here on his own. Fiku doubled back.
Yeah, they left him without a smoke too. They've got Fiku back here.
He's looking for something.
He's in jeopardy of getting mollied out. Okay.
But yeah, that timing there while he's looking for a smoke. Oh, What a gut-wrenching problem.
It's a bad smoke.
Uh-oh. And they're going to test this. Oh, God. Neofrag.
Oh, God.
Fiku finally finds it. And that is just Heroic's entry.
Oh, my God.
Jabby just going to go ahead, sprint in. Fiku. Oh! Another headshot. Point blank. And it's going to be Jabby to best him, but Fiku has absolutely picked up the slack that he gave over. Sent Neofrag to an early grave. And Flames draws Cadian forward in the clutch. CT to the right side, his assister to the left, but now that that's been smoked off, Flames is going to have to do this on his own. Cadian crouches in, down to 32 HP on the fallback. Nexa quick chase, ends it. Fiku had to deliver because he caused that problem.
That was amazing. Yeah, he did. It came down to his aim here. You know, some bad smoke might have been called. He offhanded it, I think, feeling nervous about the fact that he couldn't find it for a while. When he got that together, well, he said, "I'm sorry, brother, but you look at my sight hold." Whoa! Net 15-5 versus Outsiders. Alexi came up to me earlier. He said, "You think we have a chance today?"
It's a 1v1.
I said, "Yeah, but it's going to overtime." But it looks like no, it's not. Wow, very well done here from Nib. They came out of the play-on looking strong.
Oh, blowout.
And they are only getting stronger. It's not easy to blow out a team like Outsiders. Everyone knows that.
No. I mean, they are the champions of 30-round Counter-Strike.
Yes. And they went to OT and lost versus Mouse. Damn, maybe Norbert was the secret.
Ay. Major champions, by the way.
Yeah.
Major disappointment.
Oh, wow. You can't take that ring away.
That is true. Norbert's a major champion no matter what.
What?
Neofrag. Didn't see him, but there's a lot of presence here for Heroic. Cadian already starting to creep beyond these angles. And that, if that doesn't get spotted, he could find the one back sight.
It's a flimsy defense, I'll tell you that much. We got Neofrag on no grenades. They need to frag out. Yeah, the molly's coming down.
Smoke for Fiku.
Oh,
frag.
Neofrag, guys.
Uh-oh. Things are about to go south.
It's another rotator, though.
Teams. And sure enough, Shush continues that trend towards the Danes' favor. Heroic. How does that go down so easily?
Yeah, because they left the entirety banana open. They're behind on grenades in both of these rounds now. No smoke down to watch in front of it. Third rotation's kind of fast, but they lose because all the angles get locked off. And so even though Shusha's blind, he's waiting for someone to swing from here. And then they have so many players to watch everything. Like, nobody's overstressed. And that's when flashes will be most effective. So I think it just became a little bit... They were able to clear out too many angles before OG got into the position to counterplay. And that's where it just felt like OG just one step behind in all of those fights. They have to get more utility damage. They have to have fresh smokes ready at that point in the round for the B hits. Or they have to be even faster with the rotation or heavier with the stacks. They're not looking good as Heroic are at the moment. Yeah, also, I mean, nice shots. Like, even right here.
Definitely helps.
Yeah. But that's the same magic that OG bring, you know, so. Oh, the flash isn't that good. He peeks right before it.
Headshots galore for Heroic. This is OG's fourth and final timeout coming to a conclusion. It's still a buy on the cards. Money hasn't been entirely limited. Some light grenade rounds, but still enough to at least justify some fight for Banana. Heroic are indeed looking sharp. Cadian still maintaining the top of the board. Stown still right behind him, and then everybody else just raising the floor of Heroic. And if that floor gets raised, you sink into the mud.
You hit this roof.
Smoke behind Flames. He's in the pocket. creeps out, good kill, and grabs
back.
the op. That's an excellent recovery, right? You needed somebody from OG to do something. Flames takes up the responsibility, and then, just as quickly, Jabby takes up that gap in mid.
Oh, man.
Finds the head of Nexa again. Last time Nexa got plucked like that, this A site crumbled. And with Flames on the other side of smoke, it's looking problematic. There is still the chance to go B. Heroic have left both options open.
Well, Heroic have pit control, so Stown dies, it's really awkward, but he's actually found a gap, and the CTs are coming over. And OG are thinking about saving. Stown, he's trying to figure out what's going on, if they're saving or what, but...
He's found him.
Okay.
He dies.
Either way, he just sees 2 CTs coming his direction. I think he knows one's around A, around B. That's all about Jabby. Chase that frag down.
Knew that he had a moment.
That was a pretty dirty preaim. Like,
you know, just tried to bring up.
Saw him, then he turned the corner as fast as possible, full preaim, and Dexter missed the shot.
Uncharacteristic. But the same way Flames presses out in front of that smoke from Arch side, Jabby just mirrors him in the sense of taking control. Round-winning attempt, and he is successful. So with that, Heroic gonna lock in 5 map points as the trend of their success on Inferno continues to increase.
I think with the op just being picked up right there from Flamesy, and they knew that it wouldn't have come over to help out Nexa, it was just, Nexa knew he needed to get out of there and buy some time, and Jabby knew that he couldn't.
But because they don't get bottomed out, they still have the guns to work with. Double AK op. Famai. Come on now, OG. For a spot in the Spodek. Your map pick. About to slip through your fingertips. Keep holding on.
It's a stalemate here on Banana with the amount of utility thrown. No one takes damage. But Heroic can play a longer round right now. They've got a resource advantage. And HEs on T side aren't imperative. Like on CT, gotta hit something. But OG have been doing a great job of getting damage off of these defaults, so I think they're holding a grenade or 2. Fico actually has at least his smoke here. Neofrag's got an HE. But it looks like the round's not even coming in that direction.
Gonna see this A site tested again by the looks of it.
They don't have any
moving up.
They don't have any smokes on A.
Then he stutters and creeps back. It's gonna be the double pit play. Degster on Arch. Missed shot again. But while Blind catches Tesses, still they swarm him, stuff him in the corner. And all of a sudden there's a world of pressure falling on the shoulders of Flames. And now Nexa, but Stown, shush, it is headshots every step of the way. It's an attempt on a hold and a mandatory retake to try and keep this one going. But this is a very sharp Heroic. This is a Heroic who is starting to change the tale of struggles on Inferno. Stown pinned in the corner, CT's attempt to get him out, Neo frag, it's a double, and these T's are low. Doable, or so it was, until Jabby says enough's enough, and Heroic will secure map 1 in this best of 3 series for a spot in playoffs. Mirage is up next, and this is exactly where Heroic want to take it.